Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Michelle from the Day Before This Day Before Michelle here on YouTube and also on Instagram. Today is Tuesday, October 6th, and this is Flosstube number 8. If you're new here, I hope that you will stick around and see what I have to offer. If you're returning, thank you so very much. I truly appreciate it. This channel is predominantly about cross stitch. You will maybe occasionally see some sewing, quilting, crafting, and the occasional shop update, which I am only going to be doing one upload a month, just because I'm scaling way back. I want to get back to doing my one-of-a-kinds and more artistic approach, so I will no longer be doing any made-to-order items. I think that right now I have one listing on my Etsy store that says it's a made-to-order, but that's because I forgot to change it. I actually have two in stock, and it's actually this bag right here. I actually have two made. I just forgot to change it over. So yeah, I will get more into the project bags. I had a viewer question, and I will address that later after we get through the stitching portion of the program. This last week I did do a whip parade, and then I tried to do a video the next day, and I was editing or trying to edit, and I completely messed it up. So I did a little bit more research, and I think that I've got it figured out-ish. I did manage to get to save a clip of one of my finishes, the one that my exchange piece that I had shipped out. I did not, however, get the commissioned piece that was shipped out. So, unfortunately, but I didn't even get a picture of it. I needed to get it sent out so that it could get to where it was going. But during all that, I also started on my part of that video was also the start of my 31 minutes for 31 days SAL. That's hashtag 31 minutes for 31 days SAL, or 31 minutes in 30 minutes. I will put it down in the show notes exactly how it is on Instagram. I started that, and then I also started my 13 starts of Halloween. So since I lost the beginning of that, I did take some pictures for Instagram. I've been averaging every other day basically, but I do want to start with where I was. So before I forget, while I was doing all the stitching, I did check out a new floss tuber new to me, and that is Pumpkin Creek Primitives. And she does have an Etsy shop, and she was showing some of the designs that was coming to her shop. And I'm just going to have to say that I wanted almost everything that I didn't already have. So, and check her out, Pumpkin Creek Primitives. And if you just want to check out her Etsy shop, it's Pumpkin Creek Prims. Etsy gives you a character limit when you're creating your store, so you have to sometimes be a little creative. Also on my watch list this past week, I finally am caught up with Michelle Bendy, and of course she's doing the spooky Halloween vlog thing. I can't remember what she calls it, but basically it's like Vlogmas but for Halloween. So I was caught up, and now I've got 2 more to watch, but they're short. And then I also caught up with Handwork Maniac. Her last video, she had one of her daughters, and so that was really fun to watch. And then I watched the Joy-Filled Stitcher and Olivia at Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. So if you haven't checked them out, I will try to remember to put links to their channels in the show notes. My apologies. I am getting way better, but I'm still a little stuffy, still a little wheezy. My asthma has been kicked up with all the creeping crud's what we call it. So anyhow, let's get to it. My focus project for my 31 minutes for 31 days is the Universal Monster Stitch Along by the Witchy Stitcher. That's what it will look like when it's done. However, if you're a part of the Witchy Stitchers Facebook group, there are a number of people who expanded it, and I think if I have enough fabric, I might add an extension, because there were several people were charting extra rooms, and there were different things you could choose from for the opening room, and so it's just people were given a creative spin and they were changing things, and so you can download a lot of those from the Witchy Stitcher group to to further modify your pattern if you choose. So I have not done my 31 minutes today because I've been messing with the video for about 3 hours now. So we're going to try this last time. But you can see I've made some good progress since my whip parade. Now, I don't know if you can, how well it's showing up. It looks like it's showing up pretty good, but you can see the coverage isn't as good here. So it turns out that I was in fact stitching with 3 strands of thread. So I need to go over these with another strand of black, because that is only stitched with 2, and you can see the difference. I am stitching this on the 28 count color blooms. I do not recall the name of the color blooms, and I do not know where the packaging from it is. I thought that I had kept it together. And then I'm stitching it with the called for DMCs. And I zip the bag back up. I do sincerely apologize for the stuffy, and if I'm doing the snuffly thing. I don't actually have any runny, but I feel stuffy, and I tend to, try to breathe louder, I guess. So then I started on my 13 starts of Halloween, and I don't remember what order these are in, so I'm just going to show them. I have not done my new start for today, but I did pick out the project for it, so I will share that. The first one I've got to share is, this was from Sekas & Company. This was a freebie from 2000. It's called Jack-o'-lantern Basket. It's just a black and white, unfortunately, but I am stitching it on a scrap piece of 28 count Whisper, and I'm using a special edition hand dyed by Rolanda and black. Isn't that just gorgeous? I absolutely love that orange. It's so bright, so pretty. This won't take very long to stitch, but when I started it, I only had like 15 minutes before I had to start dinner, so. But I wanted to get it done before I went back downstairs for the evening. So, I don't know where I was putting these. Next up is Halloween Witch and Tree. Now this is a freebie from Stitches of Old by Kathleen Finn. And this is an exclusive freebie for the Primitive Stitcher Society. It is a group on Facebook. I do not believe that it is a closed group, so if you would like to join, just search for it on Facebook and request to send a request. So I'm going to put it back here kind of quick. You might be able to see it, you might not. So you kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like, because I have a very small start. I'm stitching it on 28 count natural linen, and this with the called for DMCs. And that's where I'm at. Got a broom. I would be really happy to get these done, because I can't wait to put them on display. Next up is, sorry for all the ums. Oh my gosh, I'm having a day. Struggle bus. So, if you have not heard of this designer yet, she is not a professional. She's a blogger. She says she's not a professional. I have to disagree. But her blog is Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. Let's see. Yes, Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting.blogspot.com. And it's Pinker, Pinkern, the letter N, Pumpkin, Punkin. So no M and P on pumpkin, because it's pumpkin, not pumpkin. Anyhow, I am stitching her Crow Creek salt box. Isn't it adorable? Love it. I really had wanted to get further along on this. However, recently I was fortunate enough to have been able to purchase a living estate. A woman couldn't stitch anymore, so she was destashing. Her daughter was destashing for her, and she selected me to be able to purchase. And included was a bunch of floss. I don't have to buy floss again for forever, but there was also some fabric, and I haven't had any trouble with any of the other pieces. This piece was a little perfumey, and I am scent challenged. So there is some kind of there's a chemical that they use as a bonding agent to bond the aromatics to the carrier, or whatever they call it. And it causes an allergic reaction in me, which makes my nose go crazy, triggers a headache, things like that. This isn't too bad until I have it spread out to be working on it. So after I share, I'm going to go hang it up on a hanger and put it in the garage to air out. And tomorrow it will get some sunshine, and then it'll be fine. But because of that, that's all the farther of a start that I got on it. You'll be seeing this one be completed, or as soon as I get the chance to. I've got a couple other tiny projects to finish up, but then this is going to be not my focus piece for October, because that is the Monsters Stitch Along. But the fabric is 28 count cream Lugana for that one. My next starts, because I have not done my new start for today, as I said, but the other ones were actually finishes, so I will share those now. So the first one is Scary Bit by Hands On Designs, and we're fraying. And I stitched it on 30 count mushroom Murano. I love it. I haven't decided for sure how I'm going to finish it. I'm considering making myself a mini project bag for like Halloween ornaments or Halloween smalls, but I can't decide because I kind of want to turn it into an ornament as well. So, and then this one was by Floss and Fleece, I think it was. I don't remember, and I already put it away. Sorry. And Autumn Acorn. It's so tiny, y'all. I stitched it on 28 count tea dyed Monaco. It is so tiny. It's like an inch and a half by an inch and a half, something like that. So cute. This will probably be a scissors bob or something like that. Plans. My plan is that when I'm done here, I will have just enough time to do my 31 minutes and start today's start before I have to go cook dinner. It's 5:30. I think we're going to have a late dinner, but we're having easy. I'm making spaghetti. Didn't take anything. So quick. Next up is the plans. My new start for today is going to be It's another freebie design. This is by Lavender Wings, and this is from 2003, and it's called Spooky Time. And it's a band sampler on the bottom, but I'm not going to stitch the band sampler. I'm just going to stitch from here up. I might include the Ghosts and Goblins that's down here, but probably not. But I think that's really cute. I'm going to stitch this with the called for DMCs on a scrap of 28 count Water Lily Joglin. Yeah. And this was another piece of the fabric from the Living Estate sale. Other finishes. This is where I'm going to insert the clip where I show my exchange piece. It is from the fall 2019 Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine, and it is by Joyce Reed of Joyce Reed Folk Art, and it's Salem, Mass. Now I did do some changes, and the changes that I did was actually that I left some things off. As I was stitching it, I was trying to think of how I wanted to finish it, and I looked over in my corner and saw the box of trivets. So I did some quick math, and I was like, well, it won't quite fit unless I leave this stuff off. So I did. I stitched this on 14 count Aida that I had hand dyed. The first time I finished it, the finishing part of it, perfect. Gorgeous. And I pulled a bead loose. So I did it again. I pulled it all apart and I did it again, and I couldn't get it right. So then I pulled it all apart again, and did it again. And not only could I not get it right, as you can see, but then I pulled another bead loose. So at that point, it was either throw it out the window or put it away. So technically it's an FFO, but it will be getting refinished. I stitched this on 40 count Please Scream Inside Your Head. And this is from Mystic Fabrics. I don't like stitching on 40 count. I discovered that with this project. I just don't enjoy it, so I recently destashed all of my 40 counts. So, okay, that's it for actual stitching. I do have a little bit of haul. I have both Stitchy haul and Stitchy finishing haul. And we'll start with the stitching haul. I stopped off at the thrift store on my way home from picking up my finishing haul. A friend of mine has an auction that runs every week, and she lives about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes away from me, so once a month I drive down and say hi, pick up my auction items if I have any, and yeah, so yesterday was my September pickup because she was going camping, so she wasn't going to be there. So I went down. Actually, today's Tuesday, so I went on Sunday, and we caught up, socially distanced, don't worry, and I picked up my auction items. On my way home from there, I stopped off at the Ohio Thrift. Now, I don't normally shop the Ohio Thrift very often at all because it's a for-profit thrift store, and I try to spend my thrifting dollars at thrift stores that benefit charities or local I guess charities. So I try to stay with the church charities, Volunteers of America, Goodwill, because they do have some good programs. And then there's a bunch of cancer thrift stores. And basically what that means is that these are thrift stores that all of the proceeds benefit cancer research at the hospitals. So yeah, I try to go there first. But I wasn't planning on stopping, and I saw it. I was like, yeah, I think I'll stop. So I stopped and found a few things. I found some cross stitch towels. And now I only wanted the yellow one. There was this yellow one, 2 pinks, and then 1 peach. But I tagged my friends, my stitchy friends, Drew, Tina, and Tracy, and I asked them if I should get all of them, and they said yes. So for 99 cents a piece, I figured okay. And then I got up to pay, and they were all 25% off because they were pink tag, so they were only 75 cents a piece. Again, I only wanted the yellow one, and I only wanted the yellow one because I had a very specific Easter design I wanted to stitch on it. So these other 3 will be part of a giveaway at some point in the future. Probably my 100 subscribers, because why not? But I'm putting together a big basket for when that happens because it's a milestone. Why not? So anyhow, that will be a giveaway at a later time, but the yellow one I am keeping so that I can stitch my Easter design on it. The finishing, trying to think, but one of the things I've got on auction is this tiny little sifter, and I want to put a pincushion ball in it, and I'm going to do a pincushion ball so that I can change them out for seasonally if I choose. So my idea is to basically just make a sewn ball with my stitched piece and pop it in and out. And then the other one is more of a display piece, and I'm going to stitch up a bunch of Americana patriotic pillows to set inside because this is like really short. I can see it in my mind. It'll be cute. And then last was I was able to get 2 of these. Now I know that you can get their enamelware, and I know that you can get reproductions at Hobby Lobby, but this is the real deal. And they're black, and I have 2 of them. So there are a couple of monthly and seasonal designs that I'm going to stitch for on this. One of them is I've been working on collecting the Halloween year designs from Homespun Elegance, so I plan on stitching all of those and using this for one of those. A year of Halloween is actually what it's called. That is all of my haul. I did actually start working on some of the things in my corners. Some cleaning out and organizing and going through some charts. I haven't made a lot of progress yet, but I did pull some things out that I thought that I would share. One of which I actually found that I have 2 copies of, so I am going to offer one of them as a giveaway tonight or today, and I will share that with you shortly. But actually, before I start this, come to think of it, I actually had a question, and how many times? There we go. There's a game. How many times does Michelle use the words so, and actually in the video? I'm sure a lot. Anyhow, I had a viewer send me a message asking me about a couple of my bags that I had projects in for my WIP parade. So I pulled out a few of them specifically geared towards her question to share and explain. So the day before this day started off as a blog and a vintage / handmade shop. And my specialty was repurposed linens, and so I have so many linens and doilies, and I try to only I try not to use anything that isn't damaged. Occasionally I have someone who will ask me, or used to ask me, if I would make something with it because to honor a family member or something, because in its current state, it wasn't ever going to get displayed. But for the most part, I try to only use damaged linens. I will use non-damaged doilies because, especially the little ones, because they aren't something that gets put out very often. Usually. So, basically, I used to do a lot of bags. I use linens, doilies, chenille, like the old bedspreads, vintage sheets, embroidered linens, tea towels, pillow. I've used what do you call them? Tablecloths, pillowcases. Basically, if it was a textile, I'm okay with reusing it. I've made the memory quilts and I've done the memory pillows. Sorry for the shaking the table. And I've done the memory pillows, but since then I have not using my embroidery machine anymore. It's about to be retired and sent away. So I'm not doing those anymore either. So anyhow, I thought I would share a few of the ones that I have kept. And first up, I did this. This is just a little project folder type thing, and these are. This was actually 2 vintage doilies, and then the little crocheted one and a little applique, and then you can see there's the rest of the other one. The inside there isn't any. There's just another one of those little appliques. And then this is one of the ones that she had noticed that she asked about. So this is my purse bag. And this is, back in the day, they used to do embroidered chair cozies, basically. There would be a larger piece and then 2 smaller pieces. And 2 smaller pieces would go on the arms of the chair. And the larger piece would go on the back of the chair. And these were to protect the upholstery of the chair because they didn't wash their hair every day. So you would get oily, you know, and so it was just, and then of course, you know, the arms of your chairs where you're constantly handling the oils from your hand, they starts to build up. So these were made to help protect the upholstery, to lengthen the time that it was good. So this was one of the chair ones, and I have the other chair one, but the large one I actually ended up piecing into a patchwork pillow because the tear was, it was like torn from, it was a weird cut tear. So that's one. And then here's another one that I used a little embroidered doily. And this one I've done up as it's a wristlet, but I keep a project in here. I could carry this like a purse. I mean, this was actually one of my wristlet designs, and that's. And then this was a pillowcase once upon a time, and I had actually made this to sell. And when I got it done, I was looking at Bill and I said, I really like this. I want to keep it. He says, you don't have to sell it. You can't keep it. So I kept it. So this is a motif fabric that I had been hoarding for forever. I absolutely adore it. And it's at least part of the reason that I wanted to keep it. And then this is my Alice bag, and my Alice bag is made from a curtain. So this fabric is from the 60s, and I know that you could buy it by the yard, because you can still occasionally find it by the yard, but usually it's right around $50 to $75 a yard if you can find it. So when I found a pair of curtains that had seen better days, I snatched them up, and I have more of this, but I've just been kind of stingy with it because, well, it's Alice. That's all you have to say, because Alice. So that's kind of, you know, a little bit of what I kind of looking forward to getting back to are those one of a kind upcycled pieces. I love doing just the regular project bags too, but I like, I don't know, it's more of an artistic expression. So, which I think leads me to my stash dive, so to speak. And so I just pulled out a few things to share that I found in my pile, and you may or may not have seen them before. And so the first one is called Short and Scary, and this is a Leisure Arts. I won't call it a leaflet because it's just one piece of cardstock, and it's from autumn of 1993. I am going to stitch this little pumpkin with a witch hat. That's it. I might stitch the border on something, maybe, but I definitely want to stitch the little pumpkin witch. And then another one of these, and this is from autumn of 92, and this one's quick and spooky. Now, with these being from Leisure Arts, they are likely in a book, a magazine, another leaflet. They tend to do that, the recycle projects or patterns. Next up, I found the Cricut Collection, Best Witches. And I am going to stitch a haunted house. But I do absolutely love this finish. That's really cute. And then keeping with the fall theme, the Halloween, I also pulled out Erica Michaels' Acorns. It's a really bad glare. I had everything set up for the afternoon sun, and now we've got it shifted and things aren't quite right because it took me too long for the other video. It took me a while, but I have a clip to insert, and now I know how to insert it. So anytime you learn something new is a good thing. Good time, right? I think so. And then moving away from, I mean, kind of, it's, so I found this booklet and it cracks me up because there are 3 Halloween designs in this fairies and folklore where it's full. I mean, it's got the witch doll, which I'm really glad that the pattern's in there because I'm making this week. Probably tomorrow. But it's got these 3 little Halloween designs, and then all the rest of them are fantasy. And this is by Alma Lynn, and this is from does it say? I do not see a copyright. Oh, here we go. 1988. There are the Halloween. But that witch. Look how cute that witch is. And then because that was a fantasy and this kind of ties in, I also found this. This is King Arthur and Guinevere by the Vermilion Stitchery. Look at all those colors. This thing is massive too. It's well, I guess it's not massive really. It's 162 by 228, but there's a lot of confetti. Maybe not Haid confetti, but close. This one I'm not entirely sure. I keep, when I first dug it out I was thinking and now I'm thinking maybe. I don't know, I might or might not stitch it. And then last up that I dug out, and so it turns out that I have 2 copies of this, and the other copy I have is in a book. So it is in rough shape. Just putting it out there right now, but it is very hard to find, and that is The Castle by Teresa Winsler. And by the rough shape, you can see like there's stains here, and it's kind of crinkled, but it is completely readable. There's no pencil or pen marks or anything. It's just that it has seen rougher days, and I believe I bought it that way because I was desperate to have a copy. And so I'm going to give this away today. And so if you would like to win this, leave a comment with dragon in the comment, like I'd like to stitch the dragon or something to that nature. I'm going to do the search on dragon. And you must be a subscriber. You must be 18. Please do not use the words giveaway, contest, or free in your comment. There are bots out there that scroll for them and people that just search for that. And I would rather this go to someone who is going to stitch it than for it to go to someone who's just going to throw it up on eBay. And if you are entering it just so you can throw it up on eBay, just don't tell me. She is the only designer that I actually collect her designs. And as of right now, I'm missing 2, and one of them was an exclusive to the Fantasy Fair in Canada back in the day, like 20 years ago or so. So the likelihood of me ever getting that one is slim to none, which makes me sad because I have all of her early magazine designs even. So anyone gets in line on that, let me know. I think it was You Were Born, I believe is the name of it. So yes, so that'll be a giveaway. And then just in case I can actually get a good screenshot, because that's the only reason why I use my little splash screen, is because the screenshots that they give me all the time are really bad. I could probably just start using photos, which I might start doing, but we'll see. Well, that is it for me today. Not too bad. We're at 40 minutes. So after I add in the clip, well, not quite 40 minutes, 38 minutes. So right after I add in that couple-minute clip, it'll probably be about 40 minutes. I thank you so much if you hung out this long and listened to me rambling so much. And I hope that you will join me again sometime. But in the meantime, happy stitching.